Hello everybody, Mikey or Burns Post, like I always say. Now before we get too deep into this video, I want to say that everything in this video is probably wrong because of a new FNAF book that recently was leaked. Now I won't go into details of the book because I don't want you guys to be spoiled for it before it even comes out. So yeah, just take everything in this video with a grain of salt, and I will see you all in the video. Alright, let's do this. Hello everybody, Mikey here, or Burns Post, like I always say. And I am back with another FNAF theory. This time I have a theory on FNAF 4. I think I can answer some of FNAF 4's biggest unsolved questions. Like, who's Nightmare? Who do we play as? So, just like last time, I'll state my theories and then give reasons why they can and can't happen. So I'll start off with the easy one. Who do we play as in FNAF 4? Now for a bit now there's been some confusion on who we play as. The options are the crying child we see in the minigames or Michael Afton. Now before we get too deep in, I must say I have a bias towards the crying child. It just makes more sense to me. However, I think the theory I came up with can satisfy both sides of the debate. I think we play as both. For the first 6 nights, I think we play as the crying child. The minigames show that the crying child was stressed about going to Freddy's, but why? Well, because of the nightmare. The crying child clearly has nightmares about the animatronics, so he would be freaked out to go to Freddy's. And Michael's bullying during the minigames probably don't help either with the Foxy mask he uses. Hell, I'd even go a step further and say that the other bullies also help cause his nightmares too. Now, I'm not saying the bullies literally are causing the nightmares, I'm just saying they could be a part of it. Another thing to show that the things we see in the minigames causes nightmares is the Night 4 minigame. In this minigame, it is shown that the crying child is locked in a storage room with a Fredbear head and suit. Then, the very next night, the only nightmare we see is Nightmare Fredbear. Then, after the bite, it's the whole crew, his final nightmare. And to add on to this isn't in the script, but if you think about it, we only see a Fredbear head in the storage room, and we also see Nightmare Fredbear take his head off in the actual night itself. So I thought that was interesting. Just made me on now. Then, for Nightmare Mode, we play as Michael. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is Michael having the same nightmares as the crying child? Well, I would say that the crying child is causing the nightmares. Now, I know that's a bold claim, but I think I can prove it. From 12 AM to 4 AM, it's the regular nightmares, like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. This may be showing that the crying child is using the nightmare versions of his bullies against his brother that tormented him. Then from 4 AM to 6 AM, it's Nightmare's turn. Now I'll go into Nightmare a little bit more in my next theory, but before we do that, let me give some evidence why this particular theory may not be true. Alright, so why it could be wrong, number 1. How can the crying child still dream after the bite? Well, I'm not too sure. I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know how head injuries work, especially getting your head smushed. If I had to guess, maybe he was dreaming in his final moments, but yeah, that makes it a little flimsy if we play as the crying child. If he's dead, how can you play as him on night 6? So yeah. Now, reason I can be wrong, number 2. The illusion disc theory. Now, this theory states that the nightmares aren't nightmares at all, but they're made of an endo and an illusion disc. Now, quick context on what an illusion disc is. In the novel trilogy, there is a book called The Twisted Ones, and in that book, there are the twisted animatronics. They kind of look like goopy versions of the main cast of animatronics minus Chica and plus a wolf character. But they're not actually made like that, they're just illusions made by the disc. The disc makes them with a sound that messes with your senses. Most people can't even hear it. So, people propose that the nightmares are just like the twisted animatronics, and they say Afton made them to keep the crying child away from Freddy so he can kill in peace, or that he uses them against Michael to torment him / experiment on him. Now personally, I don't like this theory, but I have to give it credit, it has some evidence to it. Like the cover of The Twisted Ones having Nightmare on, despite Nightmare never ever showing up in the book. And some lines in UCN. Nightmare Fredbear says this after he kills you. This time there is more than an illusion to fear. And Nightmare Freddy also says this, I have been given flesh, but not by you, but by the one you should not have killed. It shows that the nightmares know they are not real, just illusions, and they know Afton. Now why would they be tormenting Afton if they were just his son's nightmares? Well, I have an answer for that. If you use the theory that the crying child and Cassidy are possessing Golden Freddy, you can just say that it was the crying child's idea to use the nightmares against him, and that's how they know Afton. Another reason I would say that they really are just nightmares because they are called the Nightmare animatronics. But I understand that's a flimsy argument, but yeah, my theory does have some holes in it, but I still think it can hold some water. Now for my second theory of the video, Nightmare is the crying child. Now, going off of my previous theory, if we do play as Michael Afton in FNAF 4's Nightmare mode, I think it would make sense for the crying child to cause it, as revenge for killing him / getting him killed. It also makes sense for him to take the form of the last thing he ever saw, Fredbear. But now he is a more dark and twisted version of him, that even has the same colors as the crying child's shirt. The yellow bow tie and hat shows the color of the animatronic that killed him, and the one he will possess. Hell, to take it even a step further, you can say that he put himself back together in the form of Nightmare, but that's a little bit of a stretch though. And to add on to this theory, Nightmare has a voice line in UCN that goes like this: "I am your wickedness made of flesh." Saying that to your father that killed a number of children and your sister and made the thing that killed you makes sense if you are to become a monster. But then again, another stretch. If you don't like this theory of Nightmare being the crying child, another way to see is that Nightmare is a stand-in for the crying child because of Michael's guilt for getting his brother killed. Either way it works. Hell, you could even explain why in the logbook Michael draws Nightmare Fredbear. He wasn't drawing Nightmare Fredbear, but he was drawing Nightmare. The drawing was not in color, so they look the exact same, minus, the color. But that's my second theory, and the ways to disprove this one is practically the same as the last one, so I won't waste your guys' time by going over it again. Alright, so yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the theories, but before I end this video, I want to thank you guys for the support on the last video. My last theory video is now my second most popular video, so thank you guys for that. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there, and may the stars shine down upon you. Bye!